Well, welcome. Clap for yourselves just for making it through this weather. As always, I'm honored to be in the company of artists, writers, and all those who love and support the arts. Black Forgetfulness, after Billy Collins. The names of the marches are the first to go, falling out of our gray gold like passwords to rarely used email accounts. Or first lines to songs like, "Say it loud, I'm something that starts with a B," by that singer who used to be called the godfather of something we used to have. And then after names fade out like light in apartments with unpaid electric bills, come faces of leaders who drop from remembrance like pictures stuck to fridges with weak magnets and captions underneath reading "Friend." Long ago, Martin and Malcolm fell a second time to the floor, along with life notes, definitions of those things we used to call our afros, those things we used to call our naturals, those things we used to call ourselves. Thank you. Feel free to clap. Acts. At hip-hop, fish and chicken, fins and feathers dance on the sign above the store, and on the red and white Goliath-sized menu nailed above grease wax counter. Jay-Z plays in a video in the lobby, cutting Monte Carlo corners in a Ferrari with Dale Earnhardt Jr. I have never seen an ocean perch or a buffalo wing bust a rhyme. Still, the name endures at 5523 Baltimore National Pike and at 3300 Reisterstown Road. As I wait to get on one accord with 3 jumbo shrimp and 4 chicken legs, it occurs to me that perhaps it is good that the owners of the store named it as they did, because to call it something like another motherfucking business in a black neighborhood that black folks do not own would probably not fit on the billboard. Thank you. Thank you. What the snake whispered in Eve's ear. Okay, he didn't say answer the phone. All right, just take your time, it's all right. All right, it's okay, it's all right. I begin again. What the snake whispered in Eve's ear. Well now, look here, Eve, good googly moogly. Your skin is soft as a silkworm's belly. Hasn't anyone told you, I mean really, what has Adam done for you lately? Leaving you alone in a garden like this with hips as wide as all creation? I wouldn't, but that's just me. And I don't mean no harm, but didn't that first boy tell you you're as fine as hummingbirds' feathers, fresh as dew collecting rainbows on an orchid's lips? Everyone in the garden can see it, sis, except perhaps for you. I want you to. But that's right. The tree that lets you know your glow is off limits. That's what God said, didn't he? I mean, that's what I thought I heard him say when he was lying to you about good and evil the other day. Oh, did I say lying? I mean when he was just talking to you about the way he thinks you and all other ribs should live. My. Now, how is anybody going to tell a goddess what she should or shouldn't eat, or who she shouldn't kiss? Oops, did I slip up and tell the truth again? Call you by your name, goddess, my serpent curious queen. Well now, listen here, Eve. You know, I would never be the one to come between an idol and the Most High's commands. Just let me introduce you to a little nibble. I'm sure God will understand. Yes.
Do the end of Act 1 thing where you get to find their seats.
Sure, yeah, come on, go. Y'all look at them as they come here. Just. Roller coaster of love. That's all right. That's okay. All right. We are all strapped in past points of no going back. For moments, wombs welcome us to days. As I wait on the runway of a roller coaster with my older brother Andre, I am reminded of this, although I cannot help but wonder if this ride they call King Dakar here at Six Flags means scared shitless in another time and tongue. But can a man say scared in a poem, even when 0 becomes 128 miles an hour in 3.5 seconds, and a hot dog is poised to rise from a vomit launch pad and loop-de-loops? This is hard for me to say. And so I captain silence with an iceberg tongue, and as usual, I go along with Andre. It's going to be fun, he tells me, just like he did when we used to smack the asses of cars to set off their alarms. And it was fun until Lucky Thompson's father came out with his 44, cussing holes in summer evening. We had to hide for 27 days under Mr. Richards' green Chevy Nova. Or was it half an hour? And later, was it an extension cord or a telephone pole that Daddy used to build us up on every leaning side? Andre never cried, though we were as guilty as roaches in the refrigerator. Not then or in 2006 when his right leg met a roadside bomb in Iraq. He never cried when nightmares came and sleep became a desert storming lead. Even after years of underbelly unemployment, he never loosed a sniffle. Tears are not the clothes of kings, he likes to say. Something he read in a book. I think he reads me now in this same way. On these rails, he tells me I should man up, get tough, steeple up my arms in air of amusement squeals, and I do. As I am used to do all except question this man who once would SpongeBob snot from my nose, but a week from next Wednesday, when he jumps from the roof of his 30-story life, and witnesses say he sailed to earth without a sound, I will wonder if tears finally came to ride his cheeks down, just like we were riding this coaster. I will wonder if he closed his eyes to wipe them away and wish that I could catch that holy water. Thank you. Keeper for Tyler Clemente. Today would have been a good day to lasso headlines from the Post and write. To hijack heartache from the news or be hijacked by some paper on the train, left abandoned on a rush hour seat, laying wrinkled like waterlogged skin, smelling of wet dogs and pages turned with spit. Today would have been a good day to write, to capture tales of murdered breaths. All the mothers who will bury what they have birthed, or perhaps to click a pen for just one somebody's son who jumped off George Washington Bridge as if it was a diving board in summer. A 20-year-old outed by the world like a Times Square ad. Don't ask, do tell, did cutthroats cut throats, and after a homesick Pearl decided to return to water. Perhaps he was a Rutgers man, or my man, or your boy, or my brother's boy, or my brother's keeper, or perhaps this poem is not about any boy who washed up in a Harlem river, but just another day that would have been good to write and a ballpoint pen too broken down to do it. Thank you. I have learned that women are generally smarter than men. Yes. And I've been rereading scripture, and struck by the voices of women who are not there, so I wanted to add one. Blues for Zipporah. An epigraph reads, remember, Ginger Rogers did everything Fred Astaire did, but she did it backwards and in high heels. Faith Whittlesey. Though you make no mention of me, Moses, how I polished that staff you leaned upon, for swarms of miracles to make old Egypt's sandy head come tumbling down, I was there. Little Cushite Ethiopian me, buked and scorned, burned in in-laws' iris fires, loving your stumbling tongue, your midnight plagues of angst. Don't you remember me, Moses? I am bride of circumcision's blood. Just a tiny Israel-saving cut is the history in my hand, lifted up to save my personal covenant basket. I carried both our sons through all your camel wanderings, along with the weight of your other wife. Tell Gershom and Eleazar this the next time you see them, how heavy a woman's days can travel, and still I rub your feet. Thank you. How am I doing on time, y'all? I'm good? All right, cool. Deerhunter. I think this is appropriate to read in a season where there is violence sprouting all over the world, that we remember how precious life is. Deerhunter. My brother-in-law invites me to go hunting for deer at a gathering of chairs for Christmas dinner, after half a dozen hugs of scotch, so that I might earn my badge of blood to shine and share at the table of men. And as he does this, he becomes a Guyanese Robert De Niro in a movie about war before war. And I cannot say no to this testosterone race in the company of rum and women who seem to listen in as if the weight of my grapes is being publicly assessed like a stock quote, or some rumor of adultery is rising from my muzzle like steam from pepper pot on stove eyes boiling. And I do not say no to my brethren, the policemen, to oiling my stick of fire, for this is what men do, run to chase killing before killing chases us. Thank you very much.